What up, y'all? It's your boy E, back again with another video, and today I'm gonna show you how you can print up your own custom trucker hat, and then as a bonus we're gonna add in a bucket cap as well too. So I'm gonna show you how to do it with a heat press vinyl cutter and a hat press. Obviously there's different ways to do it, but me personally, I really like this method because I feel like it's low minimums, it's pretty affordable, and me personally, I feel like some of the colors pop better on vinyl versus with embroidery. Obviously the quality on embroidery is better, but it's going to cost a lot of money to digitize the file, and most embroidery shops aren't going to want to do your order unless you're getting 50 to 100 pieces. So let's get started. All right, so this is my boy Rel. He asked me to do some custom drip for him. He's one of my trainers. He be getting me in shape. I'm still fat, but Rel working on me. Whenever you're doing vinyl, you guys see these little white parts right here. You want to avoid this as much as you can, because the more intricate it is, the more weeding you're gonna have to do. But I mean, his whole concept with this is kind of like that ripped look, so let's there's nothing we can do. But especially for like this design right here, you really couldn't do it with embroidery because these little parts where there's the white dots and these gaps, it's too detailed and it's too intricate for the embroidery machine to do it that detailed. So with embroidery, you're really gonna only be able to do like full out solid lines. So that's another reason why I like the vinyl cutter. And the first thing you want to do is you want to get one of these. Everybody always asks us, what's the measurement? What's this? What's that? Well, guess what? Get you a tape measure. That's the easiest way to know what size and what spec you need to do it on. So what I'll do is I'll get a tape measure, and then I'll just measure out on a trucker hat what I think will look good. So me personally, I think that 4 inches, maybe even 3.5 is really good. And then on the bucket cap, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to measure it out. So I think 3 is good. Then we go to the vinyl cutting program. We use Cutting Master 5, and you can adjust it right here. So another thing you want to notice is that, let's say the width is 4.5 inches or 4.7 inches, right? Well, the height is going to be 3.3 inches. So you need to make sure that it's going to fit. See, at 3.3, it's barely going to fit on the crown of the trucker. So whenever you're doing the sizing and the measurements of the hat, you need to make sure that not only are you thinking about the width, but you also need to think about the height of the design as well too, to make sure that it's going to fit. So let's get this one down to like 3.5, 3.6. So at 3.6 inches, we're looking at 2.5 inches high. So again, get the tape measure, 2.5 inches. So it should work. Me personally, I might get it a little bit smaller. So I'll probably go with, I'll probably go with 2.5 inches tall. So now we're gonna send this to the Cutting Master and cut it out. You see how it's working very hard is because they're trying to fill in the little gaps on the design. So what's going to save you a lot of headache and a lot of time during the weeding process is if you do designs that are super solid and don't have a lot of gaps and empty spaces. But let's see how it goes.
Many minutes later.
So we're going to cut the vinyl now. And this is everyone's favorite part. It's called weeding vinyl. So, as you can see, it's very tedious. But when you put a little border around it, it does help it. But remember what I said about all these little dots, guys? You see how tedious it can get? And then sometimes what I'll do too is I'll actually get the original design file, and so that way I know what parts to weed and what part not to weed. So I'll pull this up here, and then I get an idea of what I need to weed out. And if you want to be like 100% exact, you can literally go through and weed out all of these white spaces. But me personally, I don't have the patience for all that. So I'm not about to sit there and do all that. But as you can see, looks pretty good, right? That's the vinyl, and then that's the original design. Me personally, I will say that designs like this, where it's like very simple, one color, and it's just a text, I feel like these come out really good. These are cool too, but it is a lot of work in the weeding process. And then if you don't take out all these white spots, it won't come out as clean. But something like this, I would much rather vinyl this than embroider it. Get done with this process right here. You need to get you one of these hat presses. Me personally, I would say if you're not really trying to like start a print shop, you don't need to get a really good quality one. And you can go on Heat Press Nation to find one, or the trick is this. There are tons of people out there that have bought one of these machines and it doesn't work. They're not pushing units, they're not printing. You could scoop it up off of them for half the price. So like for example, this machine right here, I think on Heat Press Nation it was like $250, but I bought it from this kid who did nothing with it, had no motion, and I only paid $100. So a lot of times what you can do is like you can snipe used machines, and that's what I would do if you're not really trying to like start a print shop and you just need to do like one-off samples. So the first thing I do is I just try to get it on here flat. And with these the auto foam trucker hats, you don't really need to like pre-press it, just because it's like this product is literally, they've been making this same trucker hat for like years. So it's like literally designed for this. That's why they have the foam front actually, because it's a lot easier to embroider and it's easy to heat press. So once you get that, you will need one of these though. This is called heat press tape, and essentially it helps you keep the design on straight. So let me see if I can find where the hell this thing starts at. Okay, here we go. So go like this. So then once you get that, what you can do is you can put it on here, make sure it's nice and centered, and the tape will just help it keep from moving. You know what I'm saying? When you're heat pressing it, so that way it's not losing its placement. You know, sometimes you get a trucker hat and the thing will be sideways or tilted the wrong way, because they didn't use no heat press tape. So all you gotta do is boom, hit it with the heat press. Usually what I'll do is 300 degrees for 10 seconds. That's kind of like the magic number for anything with heat press when you're starting out. And then with this vinyl, it is a hot peel, so you can peel it right away. Boom. And you see what I'm talking about, guys? You see how like this on an embroidery, it wouldn't come out right, because you see these little details in the fist. It wouldn't be able to come out with embroidery. If you did screen print, you could, but again, the minimums are high. And I feel like with the vinyl, the color actually really pops. You can do DTF, but even with DTF, I don't really like it because the color doesn't pop as much as this one does. So now let's do the bucket hat. With the bucket hat, what you're gonna need to do is you're actually gonna need to pre-press it to flatten out all the cotton material on it. So you see these wrinkles on here? What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna actually pre-press it, and there's this lever that you can use too. Normally I don't use it because I'm lazy, but it does help. So what I'll do is I'll pre-press it just to get out all the wrinkles. You see how there's a wrinkle there? So I'll fix that. Press it again. Essentially, a heat press is kind of like an industrial iron. So that's how you can think about it. Sometimes when I'm in a pinch, I'll just heat press my shirt instead of actually ironing it out. And then again, I'll hit it with the heat press tape. Boom. And then with this one, you really want to make sure it's centered. Again, hit it with that magic sauce. Again, 300 degrees for 10 seconds. Boom. There you go. We got a bucket hat. And we got the trucker hat. Y'all let us know what other videos, what other tutorials you need to know. We'll make them for you. Just comment down below. You know we stay giving y'all free game.